everyone, welcome back to More Flesh and Bad, and today we have a very special F Tier Friday. So, for the past few F Tier Fridays, we've tried to cover heroes that basically have no reason to play them. These are kind of like the heroes that I would classify as F Tier, heroes that you basically never want to touch, or just have no support, or just have better heroes that kind of just do the same thing. But for this F Tier Friday, we're actually going to take a look at a hero that I don't think is F Tier. Where this hero falls is far below F Tier. In order to find where this hero sits on the tier list, you need to go much, much farther down. Down past F Tier is the 7 layers of hell in Dante's Inferno. And below that is the inverted Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid. And below that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe rated from best to worst. And just below Eternals is where I think this hero sits in terms of power rating. And that hero is Vincent. Now, before you rush to the comments or to the dislike button, I wanted to thank you in advance for your engagement. It really helps out the channel. So today we have a list that I stole from our local Vincent Prodigy. Their name is Jinx. And we are going to kind of give this a test run. I don't have very many reps on Vincent, but I kind of understand the general play patterns. You go first, you make a bunch of rune chants, play your cards. But in this list, I want to try out Cole. So Cole is the brand new addition in the Hunted. And this card's like bonkers strong. Like just a zero cost 3 block instant speed discard effect is kind of nutty. It's also like a weird kind of glue card for Vincent, so very, very cool. Yeah, but this list is from Vice Versa, so check out their channel if you are kind of interested in more Vincent stuff. I think they upload like semi-frequently. But yeah, feel free to give them a shot. I'm sure that they're going to be eating pretty good in the Hunted. Yeah, but with that, we'll go ahead and get to the games.
One day later.
All right. So yesterday I tried to record some Vincent games, but then I also just realized I'm like dog shit at Vincent. So this time I've actually put in a little bit more practice than I normally do for F Tier Fridays, and I've tried to kind of understand the deck and the sideboard a little bit more. I think I've got a decent grasp of it now, but again, yesterday was a rough recording session. I'm hoping today is a little bit better, but we'll see how that goes. All right, we got Zen. We are going second. We still don't have a Zen board, but I think I should just probably do the error board. I feel like Face Purgatory is better against Zen generally. How does the Ira board look? Looks probably fine-ish. Alright, I'll give him a good luck, have fun. Tunic seems fine. Everything else seems okay. Alright, let's give it a shot here. So this is take 2 of me trying to play Ira. Take 2 of me trying to play Vincent. The first time did not go as well because I struggled with playing cards like this. Revel Rune Blood was a little bit difficult for me to wrap my head around this deck, but I think I've got a little bit more of a hang of it now. So what are we trying to do with this hand? I feel like we're trying to block with like Revel and Phantom Wraith, and then maybe try to hold on to like Deathly Wail and Malefic if we can. Alright, seems like we're starting out with Kakara. I kind of like blocking with the Revel here. Again, I'm using the Iris sideboard. I don't know if this card actually comes in against Zen normally, but we'll go ahead and play it out here. Alright, and they will start with the Warmongers. I think that's fine. So I think we'll go ahead and just choose Beast here. Hopefully maybe draw into a non-attack off the top. Seems kind of okay, though. Alright, so draw into Shadow Puppetry, which is not great now, but we can at least banish Deathly Wail, set up Malefic, and then Arsenal Shadow Puppetry, which is okay. So take a little bit of a setup turn here. I think is alright. Alright, so we can notably Revel off of this hand if we really want to. For the Kakara, I think we're just going to take this. Alright, they have Double Transcend, which is a little bit scary. Alright. So they could pretty easily go for a Zen State. In fact, they're probably pretty likely to go for a Zen State here. So we're incentivized to try to block out, I think. Maybe see if we can just wait it out. So we still have 1 Chi in hand, notably. All right. We'll not black out the tiger. I think that's fine. And then tiger swipe also coming in. Oh, this is also a 2 block. That kind of sucks. I feel like blocking 5 here is okay. Then to Vincent, we'll just banish like the envelop in darkness. Okay, finishing on a cosmic for 15. It's pretty good. Kind of got punished a little bit for doing this, but I think that's still fine. So I was actually expecting them to make a Zensei with how much chi they had, but I guess they just had the cosmic as well. So go down 20 here, which is not ideal. I don't actually think there was a ton we could do this game. I think this matchup is, I don't know. I feel like this matchup is very free from the Zen side, but maybe that's just me kind of playing that side of the matchup for a while. Especially if you like don't let the Vincent go first, it feels like very, very favorable for you. All right, Haunting Rendition potentially okay here. Debating whether we want to use this for block or if we want to use this as rune chant. I don't think we need the extra rune chant necessarily. All right, they're gonna come in with another cosmic, so it seems like they're maybe having a weak turn if they're overpitching. So I guess we should just go for the Haunting Rendition. No, we should just probably go for the Haunting Rendition here. All right, go ahead and play it as an instant. Red 2. We'll see what the follow-up is. So we find Mauling Key. So what's our play? We banish Deathly Delight. I guess we can probably just block with Widespread. We still have that Deathly Will, so we can break Chain with the Deathly Will, banish this, block with this, arsenal this. Seems okay. Still feels like we are pretty far behind this game. I'm not sure there was a ton we could do about it. All right, let's start with Shadow Puppetry. I think we will go ahead and pay into the Vincent trigger just so we guarantee the extra rune chain off the Deathly, and then we'll send in the Deathly. We're also kind of bluffing like Succumb to Temptation here, which is kind of cool. This hero is tough to pick up for the first time, by the way. I do not really want to banish this thing below with Shadow Puppetry. I think we're good with that. And then we do have 2 rune chains here, so we actually don't need to close the chain if we don't want to. I think it's actually better to play this out now. Or I guess it yeah, it's better to play on now, right? Because we have the 2 Malefic triggers and then we can send this. All right, so they're going to be popping Traverse here. That makes sense. I'm probably trying to look to use my Face Purgatory next turn, I feel like, if I can, but it's a little bit difficult with the Tiger stuff. All right, so we've caught up a little bit on the life totals here, so that's at least good for us. All right, we do not notably have the way to activate Face Purgatory. So I think if anything, I'm looking to try to like sync one of these. So if that's the case, I think we're supposed to just pass on this. I think we could pretty easily get 8 value out of our sync blows if we are a little bit patient here. Right, so they're gonna make is activate Zen, getting an aspect. So we're expecting a chase aspect here, which they need to play a tiger first though. Yeah. Okay. Play the tiger first. Classic mistake. That's fine. So I'm looking to probably sync below this chase the tail, and then if we can draw into a non-attack, we can maybe Face Purgatory them here. Go ahead and pass here though. And then sync. Let's go ahead and sync. Do you want to sync a Deathly or a Widespread? I feel like Widespread. Maybe we already have the redundant Deathly, so I guess unnecessary. All right, we do not find a way to use our Face Purgatory yet, but we still have another sync below that we can try to if we want to kind of fish for something. So I think we're supposed to take this damage as well. Then we can use the sync below on the Tiger. So I think I will go ahead and use sync below on Tiger here. How many rune chants do we have? We have 3 exactly. Let's send the widespread at them if we really wanted to. Is that better than Deathly Will? I don't know if it is. Maybe we just get rid of widespread then. Machinations. I don't think that's actually that good. Alright, finishing on CNC. So you have a card in Arsenal, or at least a card that they're looking at Arsenal. Maybe we do just face Purgatory this. It's kind of tempting. I don't think they have another Chi that we know about, right? Alright, so we get rid of a Chase the Tail. I think that's pretty big for us, actually. Okay, I like face Purgatory we had there. Let's go ahead and banish Widespread. Lay out the Malefic. Then we can send a bunch of rune chants here. Although, funny enough, we probably shouldn't have kept the Widespread. We should have kept the Deathly Will, right? Because if we're going to face Purgatory, then it wouldn't be on our arsenal. Okay. Minor misplay there, but we're still fine, I think. It's actually probably a pretty substantial misplay, so, because we would basically lose out on, like, 1 damage worth of rune chants, but rune chants are, I think, better in this deck than, like, physical damage, so. Alright, looks like they're going to pay into the 3 rune chants, which is fine. We still at least have 3 rune chants set up on the back end, so maybe that's okay. Alright. I think this hand's good. Start by banishing Deathly Whale. Now we're probably looking to succumb this turn, so the question is, do we want to Dirge? I think we probably do just want to Dirge just because we don't really have a ton else to do. Sure. We do get punished by Zen State here, but we pretty much always get punished by Zen State, I guess. Alright, send it. Alright, they do have the Zen State. That's a little bit unfortunate, but that's okay. So you can at least get potentially 1 rune chant off the back of this if they let this hit. And we're not taking Blood Debt at least, which I think is a good thing. We also have a React to soak a little bit of damage. I do think our Zen opponent here has had a very substantially a very, very good start here, though. Right, so get our extra rune chance. So we're probably looking to not do very much next turn. Oh, I also forgot that we could have succumbed there. That's probably a punt. I forgot we could like creep. Well, I guess we lose our creepers. I don't know. That might be a punt for a better player. But I think it's still fine. Yeah, I think our plan here is to just try to block out and then develop our turn next turn. So what do we want to try to put in Banish? I guess it's Phantom Wraith. Which means we probably just want to block with like, how do we want to block this? Do we want to block this at all? We could get a little bit punished by CNC here. Could also go for Sink Below. Sink Below is fine. Then we can maybe like Arsenal the Envelop for like a big turn next turn. Let's go ahead and get rid of Funeral Moon, I guess. Alright, Haunting I think seems fine. Alright. Kara, and then presumably either a 1 cost or like a Tiger Generator or something. If it's a Tiger Generator like a Harmony Hunt, it's gonna be very, very solid here. So I think we'll go ahead and just Haunting this. It's fine. I need to remember to pass blocks before Haunting. Sure. I think just soaking up some damage here seems reasonable. Okay, they do not have the Tiger, which I think is really good for us. We'll go ahead and banish the Phantom Wraith, and then I think just set up the Envelopment Arsenal. If we can get a brick out of them next turn, we're probably in pretty good shape. That does not seem to be a brick, though. Although it could be a brick, depending on their hand. Okay, it seems like it is probably not, though. This matchup seems pretty terrible from the Vincent side. At least based on our opponent's draw. I think our opponent's drawn pretty well. Alright, so we also have a chase aspect here, so we're pretty dead, I think. We can at least send like somewhat decent turn next turn and block a bit, but I don't know. Might be a little bit too much here. I think we're supposed to take the Kakara and the Tiger damage because it's just 3 damage, and then we can try to block out the rest of it. So I want to save this Haunting Rendition for Swipe, ideally. Swipe's going to be coming in for potentially how much? Well, it's going to be coming in for 5, which is kind of annoying. Let's go ahead and block with Eloquent Eulogy here. I think we're going to use this for the block mode. We have the aspect, which is kind of expected. Let's go ahead and block, I guess, here with Widespread. And I think our plan is to actually use Haunting Creepers to block the swipe, I think, and then Deathly Will and Tiger. All right, we're barely staying alive here. All right, go ahead and block here. We'll leak 1. Although notably, the Tiger on hit maybe doesn't matter too much. So if that's the case, do we need to block this? I guess I could turn off another Tiger Swipe, which would be probably game-winning. But they could just send the Tiger Swipe anyways. Or I guess they can send it for 3, which would still basically kill us. I don't know. I don't think there's really a great out here. I think if they just have another 0 cost, we probably lose. All right, so they had another swipe, which is unfortunate. So, like, if we do block there, we get this to 3, but then we have to also give up Tunic, and then we're not really developing our game plan. So, I think our opponent's got us here. I think their start was probably just too good. All right, we'll give them a good game, though. I think that was a very good start for our opponent. We also like did not see any of our new cards, which is a little bit unfortunate. But let's see if we can get another one. All right, we've got their Cindra. I think we generally want to go first in a Cindra just because they leak a lot of damage. Been using the Ira sideboard again. I don't know if that's correct, but we'll give it another shot. If you want to play with Cole and open CCQ, by the way, you can expect to play against like 40 to 50% Cindra. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. All right, so we do have a Deathly Will started out. All right, it's actually pretty good. So I think we'll banish the Deathly Will just to get it set up, and then we could actually play out Envelop just to get a Rune Chant. Is that worth it? I don't know if that's generally worth it, but I'm going to do it anyways. Because it seems kind of good for next turn, at least. Seems a little bit wasteful, but I think it's kind of okay. All right, opponent is filtering. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know you can actually do that with Cindra. I mean, I guess it makes sense that you can, but it's like 5 basically, right? All right, we will start with the kunai here. So notably what we're... Oh no, not Nasty Surprise. It's giving me flashbacks to that one video. All right, we have Mask Momentum here, so I think what we're going to try to do here is try to block out the third thing. This is pretty typical, I guess, of the Ire equipment I'm seeing, though. Is like Flame Scale plus Flick plus Mask Momentum. I don't know if Flame Scale is actually all that good, though. Because my prediction is that Ire is going to be... Or that Cindra is going to be a little bit more blue heavy than like Fi is, for instance. Although Fi is like a decent amount of blues right now, but I don't know if that's just for lack of better options at this point. All right, so now we're looking to block out whatever they kind of play next here, potentially with Sink Below. All right, the kunai is fine here though. All right, Steel Flick, which notably does not trigger Mask or anything. Okay. What are we doing here? All right. Flick Knives, sure. All right, we're closing the chain for some reason. Here I think so. I want to probably banish Widespread on my turn, right? We have two enchant set up. Do that. I think I'm probably just supposed to sync below this, even though it's like a little bit inefficient. It's probably fine though. Just to, or I guess we're not even denying the mask anymore. Okay, interesting. I don't know what's going on anymore. Okay, so we probably actually didn't even need to sync below this yet. Alright, so we've got a stab wound. X is the total number of times a dagger has hit this combat chain. Alright, a dagger has unfortunately hit 0 times this combat chain, so I think I'm fine to take 2 damage here. And they will rebuy their kunais, which I also think is fine. Sure. Alright, start by banishing the widespread. Then, how do we want to sequence this? So I think we play out Malefic first. Okay, no, I see the sequence here. So what we do is we play out Malefic, we machinations. Machinations. What are we machinationing though? I guess we could. No, I think we want to Deathly Whale first, right? So we can make the rune chance and then widespread, and then we get the extra one from Malefic. Oh, but the problem is that we can't do both, right? Because we don't have a way to make ourselves lose life yet. So I guess we'll just play out the Deathly Whale and maybe set this up for next turn, and then Arsenal this for the envelop or something. Every time I think I have like a really good sequencing, I forget that like Deathly Whale just like does not make a second rune chant unless you lose life. I feel like that's my guilty. That's kind of my flaw, I guess, with my lines a lot of the time in this deck is that I need to remember first of all that Deathly Whale costs 3. Second of all that it doesn't always make a second rune chant. I feel like once you get used to that, though, I think it gets a little bit easier. I feel like that's just something I've honestly believed up until this point that Deathly Whale is a 2 cost, which would make it probably maybe even broken at this point. All right, this is fine though. We get 2 rune chants on the back end. We get a nice little arsenal, and then this hand's like pretty decent. I think we want to be a little bit careful with like Deadwood Dirging though. Like I don't think Deadwood Dirge is actually all that necessary. Maybe. All right, opponent is playing Tome of Imperial Flame, which is also, I think, a heavily debated card in current Cindra circles. I don't think this card is actually that good. Like compare this to a blue. It's like, I don't know, just run a blue, right? Like, why are we running this card? But who knows? All right, we see the flame skill. I guess it's like maybe decent filtering. I don't know. The question is, I guess, how much filtering do you really need as Cindra? All right, so we have the kunais coming in. I think that's fine. Slightly regretting my choice to use the sync blow that early. All right, so they are now going to break the chain, which I still don't fully understand because this is an instant. So now you're just resetting the mask. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and take this then. Right, we have a brand as well. Again, I don't think we need to block this because mask. Right, Art of Dragon Fire. So that does notably combo with the brand with Cinderclaw, which is kind of funny. So they will deal the extra 2 damage here, which is pretty good. One card 7, basically. 2 of which is like basically kind of unpreventable. So I feel like we're actually fine here to give them so like Cinder's already free, so like if we give him extra card, it doesn't really matter here, right? So I think we're fine to let the mass trigger. Like, I think this is still fine because it's kind of the same thing in principle, right? Like even if they have empowerment, we're basically still IP wanting them. At least so like the mass trigger is not actually mattering here. So I think this is fine. Let's go ahead and banish Bantam Wraith. We want to probably try to Creepers in something this turn. Or I guess we have Succumb as well. So I think we'll go ahead and pop the Tunic. Just so we can envelop. And then I think we also maybe want to play out Malefic first. Do we want to pay 1 life into Vincent? I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to. Play out Malefic. I think our goal here is to try to save Deadwood Dirge for next turn. Could definitely get punished here somehow, but I'm not entirely sure how. I guess the punish would be like they don't pay into the rune chance or something. Or they do pay into the rune chance and then just try to block this out. It seems like Succumb is going to be pretty good here, if I imagine. Not sure. Alright, we will go for it here. And then we do have 2 rune chants on the back end so that we can play out the Phantom Wraith. Alright, they do have a Sink Below, which is going to prevent their arsenal from getting destroyed, but I think that's okay. Still get a look at their hand and take the best card. Alright, they do have a Flick Flack as well, so I guess the question is, do they have 1 more react? Okay, looks like not. Pretty decent answer, though. Alright, we do not want to take the Nasty Surprise, notably. I guess it's probably fine to just take Art of the Dragon Blood. Sure. And then I guess we can... What happens if we close chain? Nothing, right? So I guess we can just like Phantom Wraith, set up the Deadwood Dirge in Arsenal, and then be happy with our choices, I think. They have 2 blues in hand, so like their turn's probably just gonna be setting up. They can put a Nasty Surprise in Arsenal, which is not great, especially when I know about it, but you know, Nasty Surprise, difficult card to use, I guess. At least for me. Alright. So what do we have here? We can banish like Deathly Delight. Or we can banish the Eloquent Eulogy. Which is better. I feel like having the Eloquent Eulogy in hand is better just because it's easier to like pay this naturally. So I guess we'll banish the Delight. Then do we want to Dirge here? How necessary is this? We could also just rune chant this or something. I don't know. I feel like there are a couple different options on this hand. Let's go ahead and Dirge, I guess, because it, I guess, doesn't use up the Vexing. So get rid of a rune chant, send in the Deathly Delight. It's pretty easy to pay the rune chants here, though, which is why I'm not like super in love with this. But I guess against maybe like a more red line deck here, it's maybe a little bit better. Then we can theoretically play Eloquent Eulogy on the back of this if we get to resolve Succumb, which we do. We always get to resolve it at this point. It's just whether or not we connect with it, I guess, is the question. All right, so we will go for it again. Now let's see what they got. All right, they have another Flick Flack. Do they have the follow-up react? It appears not. What do we want to take here? When this attacks, if it's Draconic, it's go again. So I guess this is just a 0 for 4, so we should probably just take the 0 for 4. Here. Then we can play out Eloquent Eulogy if we want to, or we can just like set it up in Arsenal and flail. I guess Eloquent Eulogy is probably better, right? We do have to pitch this, I guess, which is not ideal. Maybe I actually like flailing here more. Yeah, maybe flail's better. I'm not sure which is better. I guess this gives us an eloquence, but this has like the potential to give us a rune chant. Maybe Eulogy was better. Not 100% on that. Let's go in our Soul of Phantom Wraith. Alright, seems like they will Arsenal as well. So you have a weird kind of like double Eulogy hand. Not in love with that. We also have a Phantom Wraith in Arsenal. So I feel like we banish the Eulogy and then maybe like play out Deathly Wail like hard casted from hand. We also play Widespread out. Is that terrible? I don't think that's that bad actually. Like we do reset the rune chant and everything, but maybe we could have also used like Vexing and then played out the Deathly Wail. Maybe that was another option. This deck has a lot of options, I feel like. feel like this is like the most annoying though in terms of like weird breakpoints is that we deal one and then we have the widespread. So like this is gonna take 3 cards out of their hand, or like at least 1 card out of their hand, and then maybe 2 more. I don't know. I don't know if that's a hand where we want to go for like a setup turn, or if that's a hand where we want to go for like a larger turn. I don't know. We will still at least get a hand banish from them, which I think is somewhat valuable, especially against like a more go wide deck. All right, so I think I'm kind of happy with this. We do have to banish here, so get empowerment out of them for what that's worth. Ooh, we do find our call, which is also maybe kind of annoying here, especially against kunai. Ooh, we have an uprising. Okay. All right, call probably a little bit less annoying now that they played a card out from hand. All right, let's go ahead and take this first kunai. I'm not entirely sure what their play is here, or why they're closing chain. Maybe I don't get it. This hand for next turn seems really good though, because we can like banish Deathly Whale, Vexing, play out the Deathly Whale with like Machinations, and then play out full Eulogy or something. Seems kind of alright. Alright, so we'll go ahead and take this. Still not understanding the impetus to, I guess, close chain. Right, we have Brand with Cinderclaw. I guess it's maybe so that they can like flick a dagger that's not on the active chain link. Well, it's active chain link, so you don't need a close chain. Yeah, I have no idea here. I'm at a lost. I think we can maybe get away with banishing one Deathly though. All right, we'll go ahead and flick here. That's fine. All right, flick, get the daggers back. Sure. All right, pass. I think that's okay with me. All right, banish Deathly Whale here, and then pop Vexing. Play out Deathly. Oh, sorry, we want to Machinations first. Machinations first. Pass. Then we'll Deathly. And we can also actually use Cull to get another Rune Chant if we want to pay into Inside, if they, assuming they take damage here. So I think that's good for us. We also do have the option available to us to Creepers in, but it looks like we're not going to need to do that here. All right, so I think we will let them take this. Then we'll Cull. I think we are supposed to pay the life. Just so that we can get 2 Rune Chants instead of 1. Hopefully this call is also a little bit annoying for them. Alright, discarding a Tome I think I'm pretty okay with if that's one of their kind of power cards. So let's close chain here. Play out the Eulogy. I could be piloting this wrong, but it seems like an okay turn. Maybe it could have been a little bit better, but I'm not entirely sure how. So we're borderline threatening lethal here. They do have Fate, which is going to be pretty decent, though. We will get an Eloquence on the back of this, though. So as long as we can draw, like, kind of one of our enablers, like Deadwood Dirt. How many Deadwood Dirt should we have left? We have 2 of those left. We got, like, Envelop still in the deck. I think one's still in the deck. So I think we got outs or, like, a little bit of time here to set up. Alright, so we're attacking with the Kunai. I kind of want to just filter this Bantam Wraith out of our arsenal. I guess I don't know if there's a real reason to do it now versus later. Not sure if it matters. Get rid of the arsenal. All right, another Sink Below. I don't know if that's exactly what I would have asked for, but maybe not terrible. Alright, we have another Kunai coming in. I think I'm also okay with that. I think we just want to sync whatever the last thing is, maybe. Alright, Art of Dragon Fire. So this is not Draconic, notably. Let's go ahead, I guess, and block with just Sync below, and maybe sync the other Sync to try to find kind of a better card here. Alright, they're going to flick at us, which I think is fine. And then they can Cindra to rebuy the dagger if they want to. They should do that after the closing chain, right? Okay, so I think they've sequenced it correct here. Alright, we'll go ahead and bottom the Sync below. Alright, is Eulogy what we wanted? It might be okay. So what do we do here? We banish the Rebel? No, we banish Eulogy, right? So what we can do here is we can banish Eulogy, go to 1 rune chant, Machinations the Eulogy, so let's go again. That way we play 2 of these stupid non-attack attack. Then we can Revel, then we swing weapon. Right? Okay, I think that's the sequence. I feel like I need to think about my sequencing a little bit more with this hero than like other heroes like Zen, for instance. Alright, but I think this is good. So this should be a pretty solid turn. I don't know if it kills for sure, especially if they have like 2 blues, but it seems like it sends like a decent bit of damage. Alright, do have Flick, which is pretty good for this attack, but not for the next one at least. Alright, so we'll go ahead and close chain, play the Rebel. Then we can swing Flail. It's pretty decent. This is like the first time I've used Revel to actually good effect in a game, which I guess I'm proud of. Alright, so we get them down to 2 cards, or maybe even 1 card here. Sure. They still do have a decent bit of armor. But I guess so do we. We have 2 pieces of armor. We definitely have like a non-zero chance of also like bricking next turn pretty bad. I still think this was right though. Okay. So we unfortunately don't get a rune chance set up. Could also just like hard cast a Deathly Will though. Okay, we do find Dirge, which I think is maybe okay. So we cannot play this naturally. I guess we banish the Deathly Whale, Dirge. Then what? So the problem is we need to have a way to give this go again, which we could actually do if we want to pop the Grimoire. So what is the sequencing here? Alright, so we're pretty much always Dirging, right? I think that's a given. We can then Deathly Whale. We have to like pitch both of these to like do that. I don't know if that's worth it necessarily. Alright, let's go for the Deathly Whale, I guess. And then we can maybe flash in like Funeral Moon. A little bit of a weird hand though. Oh, we can actually. Oh, we can Revel. Does that do anything? Oh wait, no. I think I see the line. So we Dirge this turn. We Deathly Wailed. We flash in the Revel, which will make 4 rune chance, and then we get going, and off this, then we get to swing Flail. Okay, I think that's good. So they do have to block at least some of this, right? Right. So they will wax on here. That's fine, I think. So let's go ahead and pay Tunic. Pop Greaves. Flash in the Rebel. Which will rebuy our action points. Pass. Then we get to Flail. Wow, this is actually really good for us, I think. Then we also get to like Funeral Moon. Assuming they take one of these rune chants, we can Funeral Moon and then also force through some damage as well. I think that's worth it. Maybe. Pay life to Vincent. So we also get the or I guess we didn't probably need to do that, but it's probably fine. So I guess now they are forced to pay into a rune chant. No, they're not forced to pay. So the life pay was actually unnecessary there. Hopefully that doesn't come to bite us, but it could definitely be the deciding factor here. All right, so we'll break chain. We get 3 rune chants, which is good. Oh, the rune chants get destroyed though because the Rebel. Huh. Is that still fine? Might still be fine. Oh, you know what we should have done? We should have closed the chain. We should have closed the chain with a Deathly. I did forget about Revel's clause that it does that. So they could have that like mark proclamation or something. So I think we're still supposed to block this. I guess the question is, what are we doing on our turn? We like Dirge, Malefic, block with this maybe. Sure. I don't think they kill us here even. Like, Empowerment is the only thing that I can think of. I guess we can maybe, like, block with Tunic just to be safe. But this seems fine. Alright, so I think last turn I had the opportunity to actually, like... I forgot that the rune chants were going away. My intention was to at least try to set them up. I at least think the thought is, I guess, what counts there. Alright, let's go ahead and play out the Malefic. We'll then Dirge it. Not Dirge the Malefic, but I think we'll Dirge the rune chant. Then we'll send a Deathly. So this should still eat 3 cards out of hand. And if they don't have blue here, they're probably in pretty bad shape. So I think last turn I definitely missed sequence. What I should have done was break in the chain to play out to get the 2 rune chains from the Deathly Wheel. I think that's just me not being used to Rebel and Reblood, but that card is also like very difficult for my brain to kind of process. I think we're learning at least, which is I guess valuable. All right, so they block this pretty efficiently, but they're still on a 1-card hand, and we also have some rune chance set up, so I guess that's good for us. I guess we have 1 rune chance set up. All right, they're toming. Huh. So we can banish. What do we actually want to do this turn? Seems like a little bit of an awkward turn. I think this is kind of partially our own fault, at least. All right, let's banish the widespread. Guess we can play out Machinations. We could also like Grimoire to send a Flail of Agony in. That's kind of interesting. So we pitch. No, that doesn't work. Sorry, I'm thinking like Eloquence is like creepers, but that's not what that does. This is fine though. Let's just send in the widespread. So I guess we're still in this weird holding pattern of taking 3 cards out of their hand every turn. I definitely punted this game though. Or maybe I didn't punt the entire game, but I definitely punted that one turn where we forgot to close out the Deathly Wheel. But I think that's something that I've like never encountered before, at least from this side of the matchup, I guess. All right, so we get 4 cards out of them, which I think is a little bit above average here, I guess. All right, go ahead and pass it back. We get 2 rune chants in the back, so we can maybe potentially set up good turn next turn. All right, I think I'm still kind of in this weird holding pattern. So what's the play here? We could like send Deathly Delight, which will also take 3 cards out of hand. We'll take 1 damage off this. Maybe that's still fine because we're gonna have 2 rune chants in the back, so maybe like cashing a card is like actually okay. Maybe Overpitch is also Revel and Runeblood just because I don't think it's doing a lot for us right now. I feel like this turn could have ended like 4 turns ago, but it looks like we got a little bit fortunate there and they had an all right hand. So I think that one turn where we didn't close the chain for Deathly Whale, I kind of just forgot that Revel and Runeblood has that weird clause. But I think okay, I'm gonna give myself like a B, just a flat B, not a B minus or a B plus. I think we did okay this game, and we also saw Cult, which is I guess positive. Where the other, oh my, all right, never mind. This card sucks because I never draw it. Anyways, I think that's probably gonna wrap it up for today though. Let's go back to the list. Yeah, so this is Vice Versa's Vincent list. They graciously gave it to me to use for F tier Fridays without their knowledge, by the way. I don't think they think that Vincent is an F tier hero by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't think she is either. I kind of just said that to be a little bit inflammatory because I know there are a lot of Vincent stans who are probably going to be a little bit upset at me for this video, but that's okay. They don't matter anyways. But I think this hero is actually fun. She kind of tests your like sequencing kind of in a similar way to like Zen, for instance, which is I think cool. I think the only thing I don't like about her is just like her brick hands are pretty bad, and also like I'm not like a huge fan of like the whole like going first setup heroes like Dio, Vincent, like that kind of thing. But I think she's still like a lot of fun, and I think she's like a very skill intensive deck. So thank you all for watching F tier prize. Again, I don't think Vincent's F tier. She's far below. And I'll see you all next time.